Hey guys, this is my real owner review of the Samsung Q80T television. I have the 65-inch model, but I expect that other sizes perform similarly. We're going to start with the pros of this TV and then we'll move on to the cons. First up, the sound. I find that the built-in speakers are very loud, very adequate for a small to medium-sized living room. I don't feel the need to get an external sound bar or external speakers for my size setup. There's also no cracking, there's no distortion at high volume, so perfectly adequate. Picture quality is excellent. It's got QLED technology, so it has really bright, vibrant colors and very bright picture overall. It's got 4K resolution, so your new content on Netflix and other streaming services is going to look great. It's got HDR, so HDR also looks very good, and it's very bright for HDR content, which sometimes looks really dark. I find that I don't have any problem with the brightness on HDR content on this television. So the brightness overall is very good. It's not quite as good as it was on the Q8FN, which is the model from 2 years ago that I'm upgrading from. So they have made some changes that have reduced the overall peak brightness, but it is still a very bright TV and I'm very impressed with it, and it's perfectly adequate, and I don't have it set to the maximum brightness for my bright living room, even though it is capable of going higher. Gaming, it has 120 hertz refresh rate, so it is also capable of variable refresh rate, and I find that the Xbox Series X automatically switches the TV into game mode when needed to adjust the refresh rate accordingly. So gaming works very well on this TV. I find that it looks great, especially with the new Xbox Series X. Very good gaming TV. Dirty screen effect. This is a common problem with LCD television. There's very little dirty screen effect on this particular TV. It's going to vary depending on the TV that you bought because they're all constructed slightly differently. But overall, very little dirty screen effect. I think they've actually made significant improvements in this area compared to their previous models. Build quality, very good. You can see there's a very small border on the edge of the TV. It feels premium, very well constructed. I don't have any issues with the build quality. So overall, very good build and looks quite professional and looks very good in this living room. Now let's move on to the cons. The native contrast ratio is not as good as it was on my previous Samsung. So that's the ability of the television to do black on the image without any sort of additional features like local dimming. And it's just not as good as it was on previous TVs. So you'll see that it's the dark spots on a bright image are actually a little more like dark gray. They're not perfectly black. Now there is a local dimming feature to improve the black levels, and you'll see that come into play when you have a scene that is mostly black with just a little bit of bright spots on the screen. And you're going to find that there's a bit of a halo effect around those bright spots. So that looks like a white border sort of showing slightly around those bright spots in the image. So the local dimming feature is not as good as it was on that previous Samsung TV that I'm upgrading from. So that may be because there's fewer dimming zones and there's a worse native contrast ratio. Tizen, the built-in streaming platform, is all right. It has Netflix and it has all the apps that you would need, but there are a few drawbacks. One is that there's ads in the bottom left of the Tizen platform, so when you pull up the ribbon you'll notice some ads in the corner, and it's kind of annoying, and it's really unfortunate that Samsung chose to do that when so many other streaming platforms don't have built-in ads like that. The app also requires a Samsung account to install additional apps on top of the preloaded ones, so that slows you down a bit when you're installing the TV for the first time, so make sure your Samsung account is ready to go. And cable management. This actually has some grooves in the back of the TV for you to slide your cables and keep them out of the way. It works pretty well, but there is a panel here at the back that falls off really easily, and I haven't figured out how to snap it into place so that it stays. So if you're jiggling cables, if you're moving cables around a lot, that back panel will just snap off and fall to the ground quite a bit, and it's really annoying. But otherwise, the cable management is pretty good. I mean, it does keep your cables out of sight for the most part. And the base of the TV is also decent. It does wobble a little bit because of the build. It is quite a heavy TV, and it just has one center panel to hold it in place. The feet are not on opposing sides anymore compared to previous models, so it is a bit wobbly. So keep that in mind if you have kids or pets. You might want to actually attach it to the wall instead of using the the base that comes with the TV. So in conclusion, it's a really good TV for the price, especially now that it's the end of the 2020 model year. You're going to find a lot of sales right now, and this TV would definitely be a good TV to buy on sale right now. It's great for gaming, and it's going to be great for most television shows, and it's only really going to struggle with really dark movies that are maybe set in space because of those issues with native contrast ratio and local dimming. They're just not as good. So if you're someone who watches a lot of space movies and dark scenes and perfect inky blacks are important to you, then you're going to want to get an OLED television anyway. So that's all I have for today. Really good TV for the price. Highly recommended if you're getting it on sale. A few drawbacks, but nothing major. That's it for today. So please leave your questions and comments in the comments section below. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more videos coming up soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.